Listen up, because what I'm about to share will absolutely blow your mind. The Philadelphia Eagles just pulled off a move that nobody saw coming. A calculated, under-the-radar signing that could dramatically shift the defensive momentum in the coming weeks. The NFL world hasn't even fully absorbed this yet. Inside sources are scrambling frantically for details. But here on this channel, you're always ahead of the curve because I've got the freshest insider intel about what's really happening behind the scenes. And before I reveal who this new piece is that just landed on the Philadelphia Eagles roster and who has already triggered the immediate release of another player, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell, because what I'm about to tell you is simply mind-blowing. The Philadelphia Eagles kicked off the day with a transaction that instantly sparked curiosity among all the fans. The team officially signed defensive lineman Titus Leo to the practice squad while waiving cornerback Ambry Thomas to create room. At first glance, this might seem like a simple roster shuffle, but upon closer examination, it reveals a story of persistence, missed opportunities, surprising potential, and the Eagles' relentless pursuit of solutions for movement on the defensive front. Titus Leo, now 26 years old, has experienced one of the most unpredictable journeys in the NFL since being drafted by the Indianapolis Colts in the 6th round of 2023. Coming from Wagner University, he entered the league as a promising player with tremendous raw potential, plenty of energy, solid explosiveness, but needing significant refinement. His initial contract was a standard 4-year deal worth $4 million. However, his trajectory through the league has been anything but conventional. After being released following a preseason stint, he bounced from the Colt practice squad to the Patriots, then to the Titans, then to the Browns, and even spent 12 days on the Eagles practice roster last October before being released. And that's where the story restarts. Because although Leo's production has been limited, his flashes of talent never went unnoticed. In 2024, he appeared in 4 games for New England and recorded 4 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and 1 pass deflection. On paper, this might not seem impressive, but coaches throughout the league have consistently praised his motor, his discipline in rotations, and his willingness to adapt to multiple defensive schemes. So why bring him back now? The answer is straightforward. The Philadelphia Eagles are searching for depth, consistency, and players who can contribute meaningfully in the short term. With the team entering a physically demanding phase, including a primetime showdown against the Detroit Lions, signing a hard-working defender like Leo gives the coaching staff more control over defensive rotations, especially after recent inconsistencies on defense. He may be joining the practice squad, but that doesn't mean he'll stay there for long. The Eagles have a history of promoting players like Leo at critical moments, and his familiarity with the facility gives him an early advantage. And this roster adjustment, though subtle, is directly connected to the next storyline. Because Sunday's matchup may now have a completely different tone after a development in Detroit that nobody anticipated. While the signing of Titus Leo generated some quiet intrigue, the following news sent shockwaves through the NFC as the Eagles prepare to face the Detroit Lions in a decisive Sunday night football clash. Reports emerging from Detroit suggest that superstar Sam Laporta is at risk of missing the game due to a back injury. For the Philadelphia Eagles, this is monumental and could alter the course of their season. The Philadelphia Eagles enter Week 11 as 2.5-point favorites according to FanDuel. But that number was calculated assuming Philadelphia would need to contain one of the most explosive offenses. The Detroit Lions are coming off an explosive performance against Washington with 546 yards gained and 44 points scored, demonstrating why they remain one of the most powerful offensive teams in the league. Since head coach Dan Campbell took over play-calling duties, replacing coordinator John Morton, the Lions have become even more dynamic with Jahmyr Gibbs and Jameson Williams transforming into unstoppable threats in the open field. On the other hand, Philadelphia is coming off a frustrating performance. Just 294 total yards and their worst scoring output of the season, 10 points against Green Bay. The offense looked disconnected, the chemistry was poor, and fans spent a week wondering how the team would keep pace with Detroit's firepower. But now everything changes. Laporta, Detroit's most reliable receiver, Jared Goff's safety valve, and one of the NFL's most efficient tight ends, missed Wednesday and Thursday's practices due to an unexpected back issue. While Friday's update will provide clearer information, experts believe he will miss his first game of the season. And this is massive. Laporta has accumulated 40 receptions for 489 yards this year, averaging 54.3 yards per game and an incredible 81.6% catch rate. For Detroit, losing him isn't just about losing a key player. It means losing a player around whom their entire passing game in short yardage situations and in the red zone is built. This is where the Philadelphia Eagles situation gets fascinating. Without Laporta, the Detroit Lions offense becomes far more predictable, forcing Goff to lean heavily on outside receivers and limiting the Lions' ability to attack the middle of the field. Add to that the increased pressure on the opposing quarterback and the renewed flexibility with the signing of Titus Leo earlier today. And suddenly Week 11 looks much more balanced than it did 24 hours ago. But the biggest story of all comes from within the Eagles' own defensive structure. Because while Detroit may be losing one of their primary weapons, Philadelphia is now considering a defensive shift that could redefine their secondary for the rest of the year. As if the day hadn't already delivered enough drama, the Philadelphia Eagles fueled the discussion even further when defensive coordinator Vic Fangio openly acknowledged the possibility that many fans have been debating since the preseason, moving Cooper DeJean from the nickel position to the outside cornerback position. And the statements surrounding this idea create the moment even more intriguing. The Eagles' cornerback situation has been one of the most talked about throughout the 2025 season. On one side, Quinyon Mitchell silenced all doubters, proving that his spectacular rookie year wasn't a fluke, and is now widely regarded as one of the best young outside cornerbacks in the league, combining elite speed with exceptional instincts and advanced technique. On the other side, however, things have been far more unstable. The acquisitions of Michael Carter II and C.J. Gardner-Johnson midseason were supposed to bring stability. Carter was expected to take over the slot cornerback position, while Gardner-Johnson played alongside Mitchell. But that plan crumbled when Gardner-Johnson stepped away from the team to contemplate his future, a story that's still unfolding with no definitive return date. Suddenly, the question resurfaced: who will play on the outside? Initially, the Eagles dismissed the idea of moving DeJean from the nickel cornerback position. After all, he quickly became one of the NFL's best nickel corners. Physical, intelligent, and disruptive in short area coverage. But with Carter now available to play nickel and Gardner-Johnson temporarily absent, Fangio's public admission that moving DeJean to the outside is a genuine possibility represents a major shift. DeJean is a unique athlete, strong enough to play inside coverage, but fast and agile enough to track receivers on the outside. Many scouts believed he would eventually become a full-time outside cornerback in the NFL. And now with the Eagles sitting at 7-2 and looking to capitalize on a home opportunity, the coaching staff appears willing to explore this possibility. Moving DeJean outside goes far beyond simply filling a gap. It allows the Philadelphia Eagles to restructure their entire secondary. Mitchell holds down as the number 1 corner, DeJean as the number 2 corner, and Carter solidifies the slot position, creating a defensive trio with elite coverage, intelligence, and athleticism. And when you combine that with the increased depth on the defensive line and the potential absence of Sam Laporta against the Detroit Lions on Sunday, suddenly the Eagles' defense looks capable of dictating the pace of Week 11 instead of simply reacting to it. With Titus Leo returning to bolster the defensive rotation, the potential absence of Sam Laporta in Week 11, and the possibility of the Eagles moving Cooper DeJean to outside cornerback, do you believe Philadelphia now has the perfect opportunity to dominate Detroit on Sunday? Or do you think these changes bring more pressure than advantage? Drop your opinion below.